Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a bit of a tent review on this Forceatt two-person tent. So, as I said, this is the Forceatt, I believe it's called Forceatt. It's Forceatt, two-man tent. I found it's a 3-season tent. I found it on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description and the price here somewhere. I bought it 3-4 weeks ago now for my son's Boy Scout camping trip. We looked at the weather at the time. It was supposed to be pretty cold and it was supposed to rain like the entire weekend. My son camps in when we go camping, he sleeps in my good two-man tent, the orange and white one you've seen, and won't let me sleep in it because I don't know, for some reason I snore. So I usually sleep in my own tent. I sleep in that little bivy tent that you've seen on the channel, a little black, long, like one-person bivy style tent. I call it the coffin tent. I usually sleep in that. I have never taken that tent. It was a free gift, and I have never taken it in just torrential rain, so I wasn't sure how it would perform. So I was a little leery. I was going to wake up in the middle of the night, freezing cold and soaking wet. So I was like, oh shoot, let me search Amazon real fast. I found this one. It was delivered overnight and it was fairly inexpensive for a two-man tent. It was a 3-season tent. So I said, well, I'll give it a shot. I bought it, I got it home, I sprayed it, you know, I don't know that you should or not, but I sprayed it with a bunch of waterproofing stuff just to be safe. All the seams seem to be taped. Everything does seem to be waterproof. But I sprayed it just for extra added security because, like I said, it was just supposed to be just torrential downpour the whole weekend. So, anyway, I've camped with this now 2 or 3 times, so I figure I would give a review on it. I actually love this tent. For sleeping one person. For sleeping 2 people, it would probably be okay if you're 2 smaller size people, or like you and your child or something. It would fit 2 people maybe comfortably, but like 2 full-grown adults, maybe over 200-ish pounds or so, or close to 200 pounds, it's going to be a little tight. So there's that. Also, this trip I camped on a cot. Tried out a cot, which I love, by the way. If you put a cot in there, you're not fitting anyone else in there. It does fit a cot. So I used the Coleman, I don't know the model of it, I'll try to post it up here, Coleman cot, and it does sit a bit high off the ground, so I would try to maybe find one lower, if that's okay with you. So, man, these guys are driving me nuts. So, anyway, I used that cot, and it does fit comfortably. I had a bag of clothes in there, I had books and other things, my camera gear was in there overnight and stuff, so there was plenty of room for it. The only downfall was with the cot, because it sat up so high, when I sit up in bed in the morning, my head is literally hitting the top of the tent, so it's hard to get dressed and stuff like that. But getting dressed in a tent is never easy anyway. So enough about my experience with it. Let's talk about the tent a little bit more. I'll give you guys a kind of a walkthrough. Okay, so this is with the rain fly on closed. It does come out kind of almost like an octagon style shape, but not quite. It does have a 2-side opening, so there are 2 doors on each side. So whichever way you want to set it up, or you can open it up both sides to have some airflow through. They do give you tie downs on each. I don't very rarely use them unless it's super windy, and that one must have came untied. Both sides of the tent, they do give you these little elastic, or not elastic, but Velcro kind of metal vents. If I can find, oh, it's backwards, there we go. So they do give you these little pop-out vents, and that little arm you saw me just pull out does keep that vent open all the time. I have had it open in the rain, and it does shear the rain, and nothing really comes in unless you get a driving force wind that's coming up here. But even, as you can see, it's pretty far up there, so you need some pretty good wind. There's tie downs on the side, or those are tie downs on the side. Those are tie backs for the doors itself. And then this side is the same with the vents. So there's vents on both sides. and then be the top. So now let me open it up. I'll show you the inside. I'm trying to find my zen this weekend with these bugs because they are making it difficult. So each door has a little tie down. Like I said, you can unzip just the one and still have this little kind of porch thing to put shoes behind to keep dry and things at night. Or you can open up both sides. Now you've got that with a full access to your door. You can do the other side and have full wind flow all the way through, or you can keep, like I usually do, just keep the back side closed if you're in cool weather. If you're in warm weather, you don't even need the rain fly if you don't want it. So on the inside, there's two zippers on the screen door. This also rolls up in the same manner as the outdoor fly doors and locks in an open position for you. So coming into the tent, you see I left my sleeping bag out here just to show you kind of dimensions. So I have it right in the center. You could definitely push it off to the back and get another full sleeping bag in here with plenty of room. The whole interior is a screen mesh, other than the bottom that's a thin material, but it does breathe really well and it is waterproof. Each corner has little pockets for you, and then up above there is a hook to hang a light or a fan, and there is a mesh net kind of expandable pocket up there as well to hang a bunch of gear. That top pocket is really convenient for hanging your phone in there and watching movies at night, which is what I've been doing. Nighttime when the fire goes out, I go lay down, put a movie on in there, throw my earbuds in, and I can sit and watch YouTube or a movie or something, and I don't have to hold my phone above my head, you know. So that is kind of convenient. I'm gonna switch batteries because I'm just about dead, and then I'll show you kind of the teardown without the rain fly on. Okay, so teardown could not be any easier. It's the same as just the setup stuff that we did in the beginning. So there are two little stakes on the sides holding these little sides out. So then all that's holding the rain fly on are these little like buckle clips on the side. And the whole rain fly comes off. And that now gives you access to, sleep under the stars, so to speak, at night without the bugs just chewing you up. You get full airflow at night. You can look up in the sky and stuff. You do lose your privacy, but that's expected. Yeah. So that's pretty much the tent. The pole design is super cool. It's all one piece. It's real lightweight. I believe it's aluminum. I'm not sure the material. The connectors almost seem like titanium, but it could just be like a titanium coating style look. Because for the price point, I doubt you're getting all titanium poles. But I'll double check when I edit the video. It does have a full-on tape seam tub around the bottom, so if it does rain, it does give you that protection, as well as a friend of mine turned me onto this. I lay an RV mat that you put out like in front of your RV. You can get, these are like plastic mesh mats. I lay one of those down as my underlayment because A, it's super cushy and it gives you comfort if there's rocks and sticks or roots or stuff poking out of the ground. And B, anything that does wash through rain-wise, it just rolls right through and out underneath the ground. So it kind of elevates you off the ground a little bit more to keep you off that water. So I have had a lot of success with that. Plus it's comfortable to stand on in the morning. When you're on the, you get on your knees or something trying to get your shirt on. It's not bad. So, all right, I'm gonna close the door. I'm gonna tear the tent down, which is just held up by these little black clips along the pole line. I'm gonna tear that down, and I'll kind of show you how the poles kind of connect to, or go back together as one piece. There is a pole across the top ridge here that kind of expands the tent out a bit, and that gives you a little extra room that doesn't feel as claustrophobic as like an A-frame style tent. So that is a nice addition, and it is part of the single pole system as well. It just swivels and turns, so it's super nice that you're not going to have to lose that or something. So to tear it down, I'm just going to take that pole out. You can see how that's now connected, and then just go around and unclip all these. Before I take the top, I should probably take my sleeping bag out. Pop all these off. And that now kind of shows you the rigid frame that these poles end up making. And that's what keeps your tent pretty solid. Now we did have a lot of hard wind during the first trip, and you do see some flex in here, but the tent was getting really bad wind to it with the rainfly on, and other tents were blown away. This thing stayed strong. I'm really impressed with how this thing handles weather. So, in there. Down that break. Okay, so that's it. Like basically, he's just popping all four corners. That's now the second time that's happened to me on video, of course. But it goes back in that easy. Okay, so basically there's like a giant elastic cord inside of each one. So you can just pull them out, fold them over onto themselves. One-handed, come on now. And that is what the whole pole system folds down into. One solid thing, you can't lose a pole, everything's connected, everything goes together in one piece. Alright, so pros and cons to this tent. The pro is it's super cheap. It is big enough to fit full-grown adult and still have some room for comfort. You can fit 2 people in it, but you're going to be up close and personal, so heads up with that. It is ideal for maybe 1 parent and some kids. 2 kids I feel like would fit fine in it. It is tested to be waterproof. It's tested to be ice proof. It can handle some wind very well. Yeah, and it looks cool. It's a nice, cool, like green color. It's not some ridiculous, like bright orange or something that stands out. Some cons of it. It is very lightweight, so that's actually a pro if you're thinking about backpacking in it. I believe it weighs 4 pounds. I'll double check and put the actual weight in the somewhere like here. But because of that weight, it's not made out of like Dyneema or something to get that lightweight. It's made out of just real thin materials. So that screen mesh, the zippers and stuff, they're not high quality zippers. They're not high quality mesh, you know, that screen is made up of. So it does feel a little fragile. I feel like if you're careful with your gear, you'll be fine with this tent. You know, I'm not ripping on the zipper. I'm taking my time with it, being careful with it and stuff. If you put 2 kids in this tent and they're a little, you know, excited, you could end up with a tear in it. And once it tears, I don't feel you're going to be able to sew this up or stitch it. So maybe a patch kit or something might help. But you know, once you get a hole in it, you're losing a lot of its good property. So you know, there is that. That's probably the only con, is the materials are not the best. But for the price point you're paying, this isn't a $400 or $500 tent. This is a tent sub $100. You know, you're getting a good deal for your value. Any other cons to this tent? No, I can't think of any. I've been sleeping very comfortably with it. The airflow circulation is amazing. It does keep me very warm at night. Like I said, the first night I was here, it dropped me down to just above 30 degrees, and I was comfortable in it all night long. It does, that rainfly does retain the heat inside the tent really well. And the wind, it does come down low enough that the wind doesn't seem to cut up underneath it at all. The rainfly is far enough out that when it does rain, you don't have rain shedding right into your tent. It's putting it far enough away that it's, you know, flowing away from the tent. Obviously, how you set your tent up or your location may vary. Results may vary. Yeah, so that's it. I don't know how good I probably look weird at this angle, but I needed to sit from all that bending. So that's it for today. Like I said, not sponsored or anything by them, but like I said, I bought it and I was really impressed with it, so I wanted to do a little review on this tent. If you buy it, you know, and your results vary, I'm not responsible for that. But maybe I got a good one. I don't know. Maybe there's bad ones out there. But the one that I have, I'm very, very impressed with. So anyway, I'm starting to ramble at this point. So if you like this type of content, subscribe down below. See more of stuff like this. Give me a thumbs up, comment. I'll see you on the next one. I do like these new glasses. They're kind of like 90s DB kind of glasses, I feel like, with the mirrored stuff, but they're comfortable and they keep the damn bugs on my eyes. Alright, let's clear up camp and get out of here.